Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley and I'm here alone tonight, of course, because the strike zone's going on, so I don't have Joe. Alrighty, we're gonna talk about TNA from last night. I actually just got done watching it. I didn't have time to watch it last night. Just finishing up some stuff for today. Um They start off with Low Key versus Samoa Joe versus MVP and Kenny King. I really could have cared less about this match. I hate all four of these guys. I'm just going to be honest right here and to the point. It was a good match, though. I thought it was pretty good for an opening segment for TNA. I definitely thought it was good for that. Low Key and Samoa Joe won. I was actually a little bit surprised. I thought they would have MVP and Kenny King win this one. Was a little bit surprised, especially with Samoa Joe being the X division. I feel like they treat him a little too good. He's getting tiring, and it's just like I can already see it coming from a mile away. He's gonna end up, um, obviously beating. I don't know if Bobby Roode's gonna be champion at that time, but whenever he cashes in his X division, he's gonna hold it for a year, and he's gonna cash it in. And of course, he's going to become TNA champion again. I can see it from a mile away. That's obviously what they're going to do with them because I just feel like they've done so much with them already that they've done everything they can with them. And it's kind of like AJ too. AJ Lee from WWE, I feel like they've done everything they can with her too. And it's like, I mean, yeah, she's only been in the WWE for like what, 3 years? But she's accomplished so much in that short amount of time that it's kind of time for her to move on. Now, Samoa Joe, he's done everything. I mean, he's been a Ring of Honor champion. He's pretty much done everything. I mean, the only thing that maybe WWE can sign him, but he's already up in age, so I highly doubt that they would sign him. So he's pretty much accomplished everything in TNA, and I feel like there's nothing more for Samoa Joe to do, and I just feel like they need to either give him a whole new kind of, I don't know, just kind of like what they're doing with James Storms. How they didn't have anything for him. We didn't see him, and then all of a sudden now he's this leader of this group that's gotten me interested. I don't even like James Storms, and I'm interested in it. So that's the thing with Samoa Joe. I feel like they need to do something really different with him, like they're doing with James Storms. And I'm not saying like turn him heel or anything or change his character or anything, but just do something different that's going to actually get people excited because I feel like I'm not the only one that says this. Like when you see Samoa Joe out, you just want to just like almost like turn off the TV pretty much because it's gotten to a point where it's almost like Hogan. Hulk Hogan. I don't even like Hulk. I've never liked Hulk Hogan, but I know I'm saying I don't like a lot of people. It's pretty funny. Right after another, I just keep saying I hate people, hate wrestlers. That's funny. Not my intention though. But he's even people that I know that love Hulk Hogan. They even say that he's really annoying. So that's what I'm getting to the point with Samoa Joe. Like I don't want to see him on TV anymore. Like he's driving me nuts. Like it's just go away. And the whole thing with him teaming him, putting him together with Low Ki, I don't like that either. I think that's really weird. And I'm not a fan of the tag team. I'm not. But they won anyway. So like I said, I would have rather actually had MVP and Kenny King won because I think it would have been more interesting for them to feud with Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. But that's just my point on that. Bram comes out, and this was actually a really good segment. I love Bram, and I love Magnus too. So this and everything they said was like perfect. I loved it all. He pretty much says he's going to rewrite history, and then he says, Devon and Abyss, your time is up, pretty much. And he calls out his brother Magnus, and Magnus says, we don't always see eye to eye. We might not be brothers by blood, but we're still, brothers. To me, he considers him obviously a brother. And they talk about how it's their time and everything like that. And Bram goes into talking about Magnus's title reign, and if he was this aggressive and, hyped up on energy when he had the title, just imagine how that could have been. And I almost kind of agree with Bram. Like, I feel like they should have waited. They really should have. Like, that was just, like, really random. And Magnus wasn't really, Magnus was just getting over with the fans. And then they turn him heel and then make him a paper champion. The whole thing was a mess. And that is why his first run with the title was just awful. It was horrible. And it was just a mess. And I like how they, put him with Bram. Now they're kind of getting him back on track, doing, obviously they're both heels now. So if you want to keep it, they obviously kept Magnus heel, which is fine. But, they're actually making him more aggressive and everything. If this is the way they're going to take it, that's what they're saying that with people. Like, if they don't want them to get too over with the fans, they'll turn you heel and then they'll give you the title or something like that. I don't even know. It's just weird. It's kind of like Antonio Cesaro, but he didn't get the title. He obviously, they seen that he was getting cheered and everything like that. Their plan was to put him with Paul Heyman to get more heat and more hate. And people love Paul Heyman, so obviously that didn't work out, though, because not everyone can be a Paul Heyman guy like what me and Joe said on our Raw review, but still, it's just not everyone, I guess. It's just like, it's kind of the thing with the same with Eric Young, too. I just feel like some of these people, the creative team for TNA and WWE, to tell you the truth, it's like when they decide that they want to make this new guy younger talent champion, it's just like they're not thinking, they don't like think ahead and stuff and be like, okay, well, do the fans want him more as a heel or a face, and what do they like, because they should know that, like, oh, we can't just take something away. Like, that would have been a good opportunity, obviously, to turn Antonio Cesaro face. But obviously they went with Jack Swagger turning face, which was fine. I like Jack Swagger's face, so, but still, it was a mess. But anyways, and then they talk about how there's going to be no more hardcore dinosaurs, and they're going to be extinct. And I loved this because I was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, they need to give younger talent a chance to shine. I'm sick and tired. As much as I like Tommy Dreamer and Devon, like, I'm sick and tired of seeing these guys on my TV when, you should be pushing younger talent. It's just like, I loved how Bram and Magnus said this, because no one does want to see. I'm sure I'm not the only one that doesn't want to see, these older hardcore legends, try to get in the ring and wrestle in their mid-40s and everything like that. And I get that some of them can still wrestle and everything like that, but it's just like, push the younger talent. That is what I like. Push the younger talent. That's my whole thing. If I was on creative team, that would be my focus, is pushing younger talent. And obviously Devon comes out and he's, mad, and he tells him to shut up. And says no one wants to listen to you, no one agrees with this. And I'm just like, I was just laughing. I'm just like, oh, I actually agree with that. I think it's pretty awesome that they're saying this. And he introduces them to his partner, Tommy Dreamer, obviously, and it was just an all-out brawl. And that was pretty much that. They didn't have a match or anything. That was just pretty much to set up more of the feud or everything like that. I'm not sure where Abyss was. I thought Abyss would be somewhere in the mix because they obviously were talking about Abyss, but I guess not for right now. Alrighty. Had a heel turn tonight. Madison Rayne apologizes to Terrence Terrell, and Terrence Terrell is being a bitch, and and says pretty much, like, she pretty much ignores her and everything like that, and she says, let's deal with the match first against the beautiful people, and we'll deal with this later. And Madison says, yeah, we will deal with it sooner or later, with the, kind of like an evil grin on her face. Obviously, you knew something was going to happen because of the way she was smiling and acting. And so then it starts with the beautiful people versus Madison Rayne and Terrence Terrell. And Terrence Terrell, keeps trying to tag in Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne, fixing her hair and everything like that. I hope they don't make her into Cameron. Oh my God. Like the whole, Cameron gimmick from WWE.com or WWE.com, just WWE, how she puts on, she fixes her hair, she does her makeup, and she thinks she's all hot shit, looking in the mirror and everything. That's obnoxious. I hope they don't make Madison Rayne like that, because Madison Rayne is talented. But it's funny too, because people can say she turned heel, but it was kind of weird what she did. She obviously attacked everyone, and then including the beautiful people. So, I mean, yeah, she technically smiled. I feel like this was more against Taryn Terrell, though, and not just anyone personally. I mean, yeah, it does seem like she is a heel because of the way she's acting and everything like that. But it is interesting how she attacked everyone. And people will probably say, well, she had to make it look good and blah blah blah. Yeah, I get that too, but I feel like maybe even though if she is a heel, she's still going to be maybe her own person, and she's just not going to like anybody. She's not going to have any friends. It's obviously she didn't join the beautiful people. I mean, they might later down the road have her join the beautiful people again and have all three, which I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't mind her being her own person though too, even if she is a heel, because she's my favorite knockout. But yeah, I can't stand Taryn Terrell, and she's just, she's a hot mess. The only good matches she has is with Gail Kim, pretty much, because Gail Kim carries her through the whole match. But that's all I got to say about that. But the whole Madison Rayne, I'm not really sure. I guess we have to see, obviously, later down the weeks to see what's really going on. If it's just something personal against Taryn Terrell, if she's her own person, if she is going to join the beautiful people, is this like a tweener thing, or is she is officially heel? But I mean, she still technically can be a heel, but be her own person, but we'll see how that goes. EC3 Tyrus versus the Hardys. Hardys won. I was actually shocked about this. It's a little bit surprised. And EC3 is already yelling at Tyrus after the match. Now, we obviously have not seen Eric Young, who's obviously now in this whole storyline thing. They just keep kicking him in and out. It's like they don't have anything for him. And, I'm not trying to diss on Eric Young. I like Eric Young, but, and obviously Rockstar Spud, he's nowhere to be found. So who knows if they're going to continue with that, or who the hell knows? I mean, I really don't know. Or if EC3 is just going to yell at everybody until he finds, might as well bring in, I know they're still trying to bring in Alberto Del Rio and everything like that, so might as well bring in everybody you can for his new bodyguard. I highly doubt, though, he's going to fire Tyrus anytime soon, though. All right, Revolution. That's what they're called now. I finally found out the name. I don't know if this was new that they just figured out their name last week, but this was the first time I actually heard it. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention the other few times. I don't know. They're called the Revolution. And obviously, I thought their whole gimmick kind of was like wearing blue. But obviously, James Storms, he's the leader, and he's wearing red, and they're both wearing blue. So I'm not sure. There's like a color code there, combination, whatever. And he pretty much says a storm is coming, and that before the storm, it's always quiet and everything like that. And he talks about how they were all weak before. Well, not him, pretty much. He does kind of talk about how his partners, his older partners, like Bobby Roode, was always holding him back. And I'm just like, gee, that's really funny. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He said that about Eddie Edwards, because I was going to say, sorry about that, guys. Never mind. Erase that whole thing I just said, because he was talking actually about Eddie Edwards, because the whole situation was he was trying to get Davey Richards to turn on Eddie Edwards, and that's why he was saying was that Eddie Edwards was holding Davey Richards back. But it is kind of funny if he would have said that, because obviously Bobby Roode was definitely the more stronger one. He had the better mic skills and better personality. Yes, Bobby Roode's better as a heel. I don't know, though. I think James Storms is better as a heel, too. I think they both work pretty good heels, but that's just my opinion. All right, so he pretty much talks about how weak they were before. Not really him in particular, but obviously Manic and Sonata, or the Great Sonata, I guess, now. And he says now that they're with him, obviously, James Storms, they can all be champions, and they know how to fight and everything now. And he calls out Davey Richards. And he starts talking, and he tells him that, he wants him to join his group. And Eddie Edwards comes out, and he says, don't do it. and don't he says Davey isn't going to throw away all what we've done together and everything like that. And so this obviously starts a match with Eddie Edwards and James Storms. And then Manic was like whispering, I guess, throughout ringside to Davey Richards, and Eddie Edwards was obviously very distracted, and he kept he eventually attacked Manic, and then obviously he kind of hit Davey Richards a little bit, and I guess that's what pissed Davey Richards off. And he got up on the apron, and they started arguing with each other, and then obviously that gave a chance for James Storms to capitalize on that and pick up the win and super kick Eddie Edwards in the face. And then at the end, Davey Richards gets in the ring. He just kind of stares at James Storms. Obviously, they're doing a fake heel turn right here. I highly doubt he's going to turn heel. I mean, it would be interesting, but for right now, since they're tag team champs, I mean, I don't know though, because the whole tournament too is coming up soon. Obviously, I think it's just the Hardys and Samoa Joe and Low Ki. I think that's the finals, and I think that might be next week. So I guess they can, prolong it for a little bit, and then obviously have Davey Richards turn on Eddie during the match, and then obviously, leave him, and then have him lose the titles. I guess they can do that, but I don't see Davey Richards turning heel. I think this is kind of like a fake thing where they're gonna try and get us to think, oh, Davey Richards is gonna turn heel, and he's eventually obviously going to end up still with Eddie Edwards and probably attack James Storms, obviously, or James Storms. This is my favorite one. They've done this storyline quite a few times. James Storms probably has someone, I don't know who, but someone who's obviously associating with him. So when Davey Richards says no, obviously that person's probably going to attack both of them. And obviously, whatever happens, someone is going to join the Revolution, James Storm's teams. I definitely see something like that happening, but we will see. I'm not really sure who though. I would think it would be someone for the X division. I mean, I guess it could be Low Ki or Samoa Joe. Now, that would be good because, like I said before, Samoa Joe really needs something different. Because, obviously, if they're in the tag team tournament thing, and then they also are X Division champions, and that's obviously his pattern right now. He's obviously trying to get X Division champions. But who knows? That's obviously, I mean, Davey Richards is a tag team champion, but he's really not. I don't think Davey Richards is going to join, though, so I guess that doesn't really count. But I really wouldn't mind Davey Richards turning heel, though, if it does happen. I think Eddie Edwards, obviously, I've talked about this in the group. I think Eddie Edwards really needs a singles run. And the whole Davey Richards things, you guys know my opinion on him, so I'm not going to rant your ear off or anything like that. But Eddie Edwards, I think he deserves it. And, Davey Richards is an asshole in real life, so he's going to be a great heel. So, and that's what I've always said, the bigger the asshole you are in real life, the better heel you are. And that's kind of how Randy Orton is, too. Randy Orton's not a very nice person in real life, and that's why he makes such a great heel. So, and that's why he makes kind of a weak baby face, as much as I love Randy Orton. But, so, yeah, I wouldn't mind them splitting up. I think they have, I don't know, I don't think they're really lacking in tag team division right now because they got MVP and Kenny King, then they got the Hardys, then they got, obviously, you can put through Tyrus, and then even if you want to have Low Ki and Samoa Joe together, and heck, you can probably put a couple more people in there. I mean, and Bram and Magnus, there you go. And if you really want to have Devon and Tommy Dreamer, just a few. And then obviously James Storms can obviously have the tag team titles with someone, one of some Great Sonata or the Manic, or they both can have the tag team titles together, so they're really not lacking in tag teams. So I feel like they could probably separate them. They're not like lacking like WWE, especially for face tag teams. But yeah, we will see what happens with them in the next few weeks. Alrighty, the main event, Bobby Roode versus Bobby Lashley. This was a good match. This was obviously for the TNA title, and Kurt Angle was the special guest referee. Um, I really wasn't shocked. I had a feeling that Bobby Roode was going to win, just because obviously Bobby Lashley's kind of doing the MMA thing. And obviously, Bobby Roode hasn't had the title for a while. And then obviously, the whole special guest, Kurt Angle. So usually, when they have a special guest, something happens. So, and he won it fair. So it's not like, he cheated or anything. Obviously, he did only, roll him up for a pin, but he didn't grab the tights or anything. So it was clean victory. So obviously, Bobby Roode is the new TNA champ, but obviously, they're going to have a rematch because of the rematch clause, and also the whole, obviously, special guest referee. Lashley's going to say that it wasn't fair. Kurt Angle wasn't a real ref, so, that could have been a 2 count instead of a 3 count, blah, blah, blah. He can, make up all the excuses he wants. So obviously they're going to have a rematch, but I think Bobby Roode might, I think he's going to have a decent run this time. Definitely, I don't think he's going to have it as long as he was when he was a heel, but definitely something until they actually, you know what? I have a feeling that they might let EC3 beat him for it when EC3 is ready. I think EC3 is ready, to tell you the truth, in the next few months. Just kind of like, let him, and especially if he goes on his own and stuff like that. I feel like EC3 is ready. He's, like a Randy Orton, he's a good talker. He's really great in the ring. I feel like he's pretty much TNA's top heel right now. So I feel like he can definitely go. I mean, yeah, you can give it to Kenny King, or not Kenny, well, Kenny King, I guess, too. But, or MVP, have him beat him for. But I think EC3 could definitely be the one to beat Bobby Roode later down the road. I definitely could see something like that. And I wouldn't mind. I mean, I love Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode's my favorite, but I also love EC3 too, and I'm all about pushing younger talent. Even though Bobby Roode's really not that old, and obviously he still has what it takes. Obviously, he's only had the title, I think, once so far, right? I think he was only in it once, or did he have it twice for a short time? Did he win it back? Sure, I think he's only had it once. I'm pretty sure he has. I'll feel stupid if I'm wrong. But I think he only had it once. I know he held it for over like 200 days or something like that. He's obviously the longest TNA champion, obviously in history. But yeah, I think EC3 is definitely ready. And I mean, there might be some people on here that argue to me about that and say, oh, I don't think he's ready and everything. I think he is. I mean, he's had a good year. Obviously, he's undefeated for a year. And if they keep doing a steady push and everything like that, heck, they can even still continue his undefeated streak, I guess, even until, he loses the title, to someone, whoever, whatever, if they do decide to go to that route. But I do think he's ready, and I think he's ready to be alone too. I'm kind of getting sick of all the people he's with. But I did like him with Rockstar Spud, but I don't even know what they're going to do with Rockstar Spud anymore because he hasn't been here for a few weeks. So, and then Eric Young, obviously, with that whole storyline off. But that's pretty much it, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe and follow us on Twitter. And if this is the first time you're watching, you like it, don't forget to join our Facebook group. And yeah, TNA was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it, even though I watched it at the last minute, obviously. But yeah, it was actually pretty good. And like I said, I hope TNA doesn't go under because I love TNA, and I think it has really great talent, and obviously the matches are great and everything. So, and you guys obviously seem to be enjoying it. My views on here is really great, and I really appreciate the support and love you guys are giving me. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, though, guys, if you like it. I'm getting so many views, but I'm only getting a few likes, so the thumbs up will help me. So please and thank you. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you. Bye.